So there are two things which we are going to use in this example: set method and the find query. And I'll tell you exactly what we are going to do in this example. We are going to create a search interface. All right. So the search interface will be a page. On this page, you will have a text box like the way you see in Google. You will have a button. The end user will come and enter some value in the text box. Click on search button, and here we are going to display the search results. So all the records which have that keyword, they will be displayed. That's what we are going to do, right? In the search interface. So for this, we will use the set method on this text box because I have to pass the value from the page to the program. This will be a page reference, the button, and for this displaying the result, we will use the get method. All right. And to query the data, what needs to be displayed as a result, we will use the SOSL query, find statement. Correct. So all these things are going to be used. I will use a set method on the text box because the value needs to be passed into the program. I'll use a page reference method on the search button. I'll use a get method to display the data, the result. To fetch the results, I'm going to use the SOSL query. Got it? So that's what we are going to do. So let's get started with this. So we'll start with a class setup. Create, sorry, no, develop Apex classes. Click on new class. Name the class whatever you want. So first of all, I need to define a variable which is a string for the keyword that needs to be searched. Okay, I'm not assigning any value to it, just keeping it null. I need a list of account which will be displayed as the result. So I need to define a variable for the list of accounts which will be returned as the results, or whatever you want to search. If you want to search contact or leads, you can define a list, because search result can be multiple records. So that's the reason why I'm talking about a list of accounts. I call it results. So I have two variables, keyword and results. Keyword is what the end user will give, result is what we will retrieve after searching the keyword in the database. For both these things, I need a get method. Public string get keyword. So we need a get method for both of them. We will return keyword public list of account get results return results. Okay. So two variables and two get methods we have. All right. What's the next thing that I need? I need a set method, because it's not just about getting the value from the program to the page. I also have to set the uh, value of this variable from the page, right? So For set method has to be a void method because I don't want the set method to return anything. So we'll define public void. It's not going to return anything, so I'll just the return type for this is going to be void. It's a void method. Set keyword. Okay. String s. In this, all that I want to do is I just want to assign the value of this s to the keyword. Keyword is my variable. Keyword is equal to s. S is what I have received from the set method, from that text box. S is what we will receive from the text box. Keyword is the variable which I'm going to use in my program. So I'm assigning the value from the text box to the keyword. That's it. So my set method is ready. Next, I need a page reference method for the search button. When someone clicks on that search button, that's where the value will be assigned to this particular thing, to this variable results. So I'll say public page reference search now. Okay. In this page reference, I'm going to assign the value to results. Correct. So I just have to say results equals to list of account select. No, and here we are going to use the find statement, right? Find keyword in all fields returning account name, type, industry, phone, fax. And here the return will be null because I just want to refresh the page the way we used it in the last example. That's it. So in the page reference method search now, I'm assigning a value to the results list, all right, and it should perform a search of the keyword. It should find the keyword in all the fields and return the accounts where it finds this keyword. That's it. We are done.
This colon is need to be applied in syntax.
Sorry.
Find colon keyword.
Yeah. So if you so whenever you are writing a query, in the query, if you are referring to a variable, referencing a variable, then that variable needs to start with colon. Okay. If you are referencing a value, maybe if you have to say, this is a syntax in our SOQL and SOSL. If you say find United States, okay, so if you want to reference a value, then you should put it inside quotes. If you are referencing a keyword, find, then keyword should start with the colon, then it understands that this is a keyword, this is not a value. Fine. So because, sorry, keyword name, variable, sorry, if you are referencing a variable, then variable name should start with a colon so that it can understand that it's a variable and it's not an actual value. Fine. So here, because this keyword is a variable and I'm actually trying to search that variable, we'll have to use this colon thing here. Fine. Not only in SOSL, in SOQL also the same situation is there. Line number 19. What's the error? Find keyword in all fields, returning account name. Hmm. I think this bracket is missing. The bracket that we started here, this was missing. Right. So that's it. I needed two variables. One is the keyword that the end user enters. One is the result. Yeah. Someone is asking something.
The zero. What is the zero? Zero which you have applied in the index.
Yeah, I'll come to that part. First of all, let's understand this part of the code. So we have two variables. One is the keyword that the person is searching. One is the result that will be returned. For both the variables, I have got the get methods. All right, so that both of these things can be displayed on the page. Then I have done a set method. Set method is just for taking the value and passing it on to my variable, keyword variable. That's what the set method is going to do. Then I have created a search now page reference method. This will be used on the button. So someone clicks on the button, results will get the value this. Okay, and then the same page will be returned. Return null basically means refresh the page so that the updated value can be assigned to the variables. Okay. So that's it. Yeah. So there's one more thing that Shubham you were asking was the zero part, right? For SOSL, whenever you're writing an SOSL query, you have to write the index for the SOSL query, right? If you have one SOSL query, you will have to mark it as zero. Okay. If you have two or three of the SOSL queries and you want the some query to be executed first, you will have to mark that as zero, the second one as one, the third one as two. That is right. So in for SOSL query, we need to index the SOSL queries 0, 1, 2 that way. Got it? Even if you have one, you have to mark it as a zero. Index zero, you have to assign to it. So my code is ready. The Apex class is ready. What we have to do is we just have to go to the Visualforce page and create it. So let's just go ahead and create the Visualforce page. What's the last page that we created? Anyone? V6. Okay. Let's create V6. Right. Call the controller here. Then all that I need to do is I just need to define a few components to make the setup of a search user interface. So first thing I'll do is I'll create a page block. Hello, am I audible? Shubham, can you hear me?
Yes, Jeet, I can hear you.
I think Priya is not able to hear. Okay. So create the page block, put a title, call it search interface. Okay, in the search interface, what do we need? We need the text box and the button. Text box, input text box. Okay, value of the text box is keyword, and I need a button. If it's command button, value of this is search. Action is going to be the page reference method name. Search now. Form component is required since we are using command button and the text box. So I've got the input text box, I have got the search button. All that I need is some arrangement for displaying the data, right? After whatever you search in, where the data will be displayed, that's what we need to define. So how are we gonna do work on that? We will just go ahead and create another page block table. Create a such page block table. Okay. In the page block table, value is going to be results. What do we want to display in this table? The results, correct? Where can be anything, and then I will create the comments here. Block name, and just phone facts. Done. Right. So our code on the Visualforce page is also ready. We have created the input text box, we have created the command button, we have created a page block table where I want to display the results. That's it. Now put the keyword and perform the search. That's it. Keyword is Burlington. Search. Okay. See the result? The next keyword can be bank. Search shows you Bank of America, right? So whatever keyword you are putting, it is actually being passed to the program, to the controller. All right. After that, this query happens, results. This query happens, and it gets the value. This results gets the value based on that query. It will find the keyword in the fields and it will return the results where it can find that. All right. And finally, it returns null, which is basically refreshing or reloading the page. That's it. Right. Let me know if there is any difficulty understanding this. Have a quick look into the code, the class first, and then we'll look into the Visualforce page.
Jeet,
Uh-huh.
why we have used this get keyword method? What is the use of this?
The use of get keyword method is, if you don't use the get keyword method, when you enter, let's say you are trying to enter edge communication. Okay.
Uh,
Now you click on search. So once after the search, when it comes back, you want to see this keyword, right? What was
okay,
entered.
okay.
So that get keyword is getting it back on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I was
Set
thinking.
is actually taking the input and get is again returning it back on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And one more thing, this search result is showing the table border. We wanted search result and all this border comes when you search click on search on it. I don't want that this search result is or this table border is there. Then what we have to do?
No, tell me again.
See, you have made the interface like search interface. After
Hmm.
that, the search result page block is there, and
Hmm.
the border of the table is also visible when you are not searching anything.
Uh-huh. That's true.
I want this whole thing should be appeared after you will search it. You understood me?
Uh,
This thing,
you can
search
do
result
that.
is coming and
That's
the table border is
doable.
also coming.
Just give me 1 minute. This page block. False. Hmm. Yeah, we can do that. I'll just give you a hint on that, and you guys can try working on that part. See, basically, what we'll have to do, there's an option called rendered equals false or rendered equals true. Okay, so whichever area you
Mm-hmm.
want to render or you do not want to render, you can make it true or false. All that you have to do is this part, this false or true, this has to be a variable. All right, instead of hard coding false or true
This
here,
has to be
a variable.
okay. Okay.
So define a variable here, boolean here, true or false, all right, and assign the value to that boolean true or false based on this thing, based on this particular thing. So if the size of this is more than, or you can assign by default keep the variable as false, and under this search button you can make it as true. Got it? So by default it will be false, which means it will not be displayed. But under this button you can make it true. Fine. So the next time when it re-renders or reloads the page, the search rendered thing will become true here. Got it? So
Okay.
instead
Okay.
of
I will try
hard
that now.
coding this,
Makes sense.
we can actually do the what is it?
As a dynamic binding, you can do
Dynamic,
that, no?
right? Correct.
This is the part. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, queries on this? So there are two things basically, which I want you to focus on. Get methods, anyhow, we have done earlier. The SOSL and the set method. All right. Now, for SOQL query and SOSL queries, there is something called SOSL and SOQL reference guide. So if you just type SOQL and SOSL reference guide, you will find this link. The first link itself is the reference guide which has been given by Salesforce. Alright. So if you want to learn more about the syntaxes on SOQL or SOSL, you can refer to this. Which clause, how to quote, and all that stuff. Right. So you guys can spend some time on it to understand the querying a little better. But I would not suggest that go through each and everything because that will take too much of your time. Got it? So what you can do is you can just look into a bit of it initially and then use it later on for reference. Just keep this link. So just go to Google, type SOQL and SOSL reference guide. That will give you a complete see. SOSL language, syntax and everything is also given here. Today what we used is SOSL find query. See, this is the query that we have used, search query. Okay. So how you can use the wildcards and all these things is also mentioned here. So how do you enhance your queries? That's something that you can figure it out from here. Got it? So that's basically about the search user interface. All right. Let me know if there is any question or doubt on this. Are we good? All right. So there's a small assignment that I want you to work on. I want you to just design the same kind of a page for contacts and leads. Okay. Create a page for contacts. Create a page for leads. The search interface kind of a thing. So that you can understand the set method and SOSL a little better. All right. And when we meet tomorrow, we are gonna talk about a few more examples, a few more concepts. All right. Any doubts? Any queries? Let me know.
No, it's okay.
All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Thank you. Hello, can you hear me?